everybody. It's Sarcasm Speaks. It's Jared and Bob. It's a Sunday afternoon, night, I guess. It's nice because it's still, the sun is obviously still up. So, because of seasons.
This happens other places all the time.
Yeah.
This is a luxury for us.
Yeah.
Although we do get it for a decent amount. Like, it doesn't get dark again until like September.
Yeah. And then I think this year is going to be the last year that it does we get daylight savings, right? Or we're going to opt into permanent daylight savings, I think.
Did they pass that?
I thought it did.
Oh, I thought they just kind of talked about it and then didn't do it.
Oh, maybe it's passed in the House and it's held up in the Senate or vice versa. One of those things, but it passed through one of the houses of Congress. I know that. I don't know which one. So the other thing, though, is speaking of seasons, I feel like we almost can't make that. Well, no, we still could make the joke, but like we no longer have 4 seasons in the Northeast. It's here I go again. Just, keep changing what I'm saying. I guess you could still have 4 seasons, but
you're just pissed it's been hot this weekend.
They're not spring, summer, fall, and winter anymore. We certainly get winter. We certainly get summer. And then the in-between period is just kind of chaos where it's like shitty and rain for like 6 weeks. And then it changes. So when it's like winter going into summer, it's like shitty and rain for 6 weeks. And then all of a sudden, like it's hot as fuck. And then summer going into winter, it's like shitty and rain for 6 weeks. And then it's cold as fuck. So the spring and fall around here pretty much don't exist anymore. Like I said,
that is absolutely not true because
it's 100% correct.
It's not true.
I don't say anything unless I'm correct.
So spring around here, people have forgotten what spring is around here because spring is March 21st. That's when it starts. And for years it's been April showers, spring, May flowers. Okay, good. So we've got 10 days of March, all of April. The first 2 weeks of May are usually terrible. That's like fucking 7 weeks.
Yeah.
How many weeks? What's each season?
12 weeks, maybe. Roughly.
13. Yeah, each one's 13. So half of spring has always been crappy. But people think spring, it's nice. No. The first half of spring has always been crappy. As has the second half of winter has always been crappy because people forget that winter here doesn't start until December 21st. So we're technically still in fall when Thanksgiving comes because it's usually generally okay until the second week in November. So the problem isn't that because that's the thing is like we've never had like if you wanted to describe fall as one thing, you can't do it. And it's never been that way. But like people want spring and fall to be this thing that it's just not. And like, Jim Murray's rant about September, where he always says October is the best weather month because he's like, oh, well, you get out of summer and it's, nice and it's not. And then all of a sudden it's 90 again. Well, summer doesn't end until September 21st. So September is technically a summer month. So that's what like people have skewed what our seasons actually are, even though we all know when they are. But they've skewed what they actually are. So there is in the sense you're right, there really isn't a fall weather and there really isn't a spring weather because it splits halfway through, but it never changed. It was always like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess early fall, late summer into early fall, I would say is the best time of year weather-wise in New England.
Post Labor Day, I would say Labor Day.
September, October.
Labor Day to the second week of November, you can potentially still push it through the first week in November.
Yeah. just before Veterans Day. So from Labor Day to Veterans Day, let's call
Pretty
it.
much is the best time
Yeah.
around here.
Yeah.
Now you might get some 50s and 40s and rain and shit like that. And
But you might as well also like the same chance as getting a 90.
yeah,
You know, like we've definitely had some 85-degree days in October.
yeah, usually, yeah, you do. We've also had Octobers where it rains every fucking day, but
Yeah. Yeah.
that was 2017. I remember that.
Yep.
I used to tell the weather by waking up, listening, and going, nope, not today.
Yeah. But it happens quick, right? Like there's no, I don't know. And maybe I'm misrepresenting this because I also don't really pay that close attention to weather patterns because I don't give a fuck. But I feel like it's just like it's like snap of a finger, and now all of a sudden like it's hot as fuck.
Yeah, but this is out of the ordinary what we're getting right now. Like,
yeah, like
do
last.
you remember last Memorial Day?
Oh yeah, I went to a Red Sox game for Amy's friend's birthday on Memorial. Oh no, like it was either like the 29th or the 30th. It was Memorial Day weekend. It was 42 degrees and rain.
Yeah.
No, it was like a mist, but it was like precipitating in 42 degrees and it was fucking miserable.
Yeah. So the fact that we got 2 days of 80, another day of 70, and it looks like it's going to be high 60s and 70 for the next like 10 days or so. That's not normal. That's not average May.
No, it's not.
So,
how do I find
aberration? Is that the word? Is that what this is? Is this an aberration?
Sounds good enough for me.
Yeah, we're not doing grammar today.
Yeah.
Vocabulary out.
Yeah.
You think that's an SAT word?
Probably.
Aberration. I don't even know how to spell that. Is it spelled like gonorrhea, like ABORRH? Like the double RH?
HEA. Like diarrhea.
Yeah. So yeah, does it have the same linguistics as diarrhea and gonorrhea? Like the double R into an H?
Yeah.
It might. I'll look it up.
I'm trying to
what are you trying to fucking figure out over there?
I'm trying to find just what the weather was like 2 weeks ago.
I'll tell you what. Oh, dude, that's not aberration at all. It's ABERRATION. But it was the correct word. I just don't know how to spell it. No, I'll tell you what the weather was 2 weeks ago. 50s and gloomy and maybe some rain. That's what it was. That's what it always is.
Yeah.
First 2 weeks of May are remarkably consistent, but people forget what the fuck May is.
Yeah, it's just I can't find it. I'm not doing that. So it's just annoying. It's annoying as fuck, right? So to go from 50s to 80, like we touched 80, I think, yesterday, and probably got pretty close today.
Dude, we got close to 90 on Friday.
Friday. Yeah, it's been fucking hot, and we're going to go into the 90s next weekend as of now. The forecast says I think 92 on Saturday, which is pretty fucking sick. So here we are. It's good for golf though, so I'm not mad about that.
Well, yeah, it's been awful so far. The weather's been so shitty.
I was looking at now granted, I have a new job this year and I'm actually working and like sometimes traveling and going to do things for work versus my last job where I didn't really work that much. But I looked at my like number of rounds played at this same time last year. And I think I'm almost half. I think I'm like right around half. So like, I think I've played like 16 or 17 rounds so far this year. And by mid-May of last year, I was like around 30. I was probably like 27-ish, but like, it's like roughly half of what. And I was like, oh, wow, like this new job, really, whatever. But then I started thinking more and I was like, I don't know how much of it is the new job and how much of it is just like the weather sucked.
It's
like both. I played
for you, it's both.
There's once in March, and last year I think I played 4 times in March, But like the one day I played in March was like literally the only day I could play in March. Like it was like a 72-degree
Yeah,
day.
we didn't get a lot of early season this year. Well, we also had
No.
snow on the ground too, didn't
Yeah.
we? Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Yeah. We had snow on the ground for a while.
No, I
Well,
just noticed that the greens aren't coming back as quick. Like they punch them at the same time generally every year, and they're just not coming back right now. So it's like, all the old guys, they're all fucking agronomists, every single one of them. It's crazy that we have so many agronomists that are members and we can't find anyone to work the crew.
Yeah.
So strange. But they say it's got to be 55 at night, and we haven't had that until this week.
Yeah.
Like we for shit sure have not had 55 at night to fucking grow grass.
Yeah, no, I know, because I planted grass seed 2 weeks ago, because it was like the end of, it was 2 weeks ago. It was the last week in April. It was right before we left for Jaimo's bachelor party, because we just kind of started getting like 60s. And like that weekend I did it. And then the following week, every night was in the 30s.
Yep. Sure was.
So guess whose grass seed didn't grow?
Yep. You should have listened. You should have listened to the agronomists.
Yeah. But I had just, because like I said, the week prior to that, we had weather in the 60s. So I was like, well, weather's good. It's turned.
No,
ready to grow
you fell
grass.
into the same fucking trap everyone falls in. First 2 weeks of May are awful. Yep. Always. No matter how fucking promising anything seems, 40 to 50 and rain is fucking coming. And it fucking came again. Even when 60 was in the forecast, 50 and rain came.
Yeah. Well, like I said, for golf, I shot an 88 today at Norwood Country Club.
Place a shithole.
I think shithole is aggressive.
Okay.
It's not,
dude. I've never played there before, and I know Vinny had asked, and I neglected to comment, because I've never played there. I've only heard that it's a shithole.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the most beautiful course I've ever played at.
Doesn't have to be. Is it open?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Is there grass on the fairways?
Yep.
Like 85%, 90%, 100%?
Yeah. I would say 85 to 90% grass.
All right.
There's a few like drainage issues, but like
that happens. I mean,
yeah, it just rained last night. So
what did 18 holes run you there?
With a cart, $57.
Yeah. Okay. That's not bad.
So also, because it's so cheap, it took us almost 5 hours.
Yep.
To play 18.
Yep. Yep. Nope. That happens.
So yeah, I mean, it's a cheap course. It's accessible too, right? It's right off of Route 1, or it's literally on Route 1.
No idea. I see. It's like, I don't even.
Do you know where the chateau is on Route 1 in Norwood?
I think I drove by that when I came to
the Bach Honda.
Where the fuck did we play? Plainville, Wentworth.
Yeah.
I think I drove by it because I think I remember seeing a chateau in Norwood.
Yeah. It's literally in that parking lot. Like when you turn, like you're going into the chateau and you just drive past it.
Yeah, that's what I did.
The country club is in there.
Yeah, because I don't know where I don't know what the fuck way I went. I don't know Route 1.
Yeah.
I really don't.
I drive it almost every day. So but yeah, the Bach Honda, like on some of the holes, you can see Bach Honda across from Route 1.
I mean, I bought a car from Bach Toyota. That's not
it's same area.
That's not Bach Honda though.
It's the same little stretch. And then my handicap went up shooting an 88. Granted, Norwood is a par 71. And also it's a short, easy course. But I think it's funny, and it just goes to show you how stupid golf is, that I shot a 46 with you on Sharon, at Sharon on Friday, which is the best. And I really think it's the best I've ever played at Sharon.
Probably is.
It might not be the best score I post. It could be. It very well could be the best score.
It probably is. But
it's probably the best round I've ever had at Sharon. So I still shot a 46, so it's 11 over. And my handicap went down about a half a point. And then today I shoot an 88, which again, I take it with a grain of salt, right? It's a short course. It's a par 71. It's nothing crazy. So yeah, I broke 90, but like I don't count that really as breaking 90. But still, it's an 88, right? It's 2 shots below 90, and my handicap goes up, right? A half a point again. So I'm right back to where I was on Thursday or Friday morning, whatever you want to say. So it's just dumb. I made 2 birdies today, though. That was pretty cool. I made one on the front, one on the back, and then had an absolute ejection on a par 5 on the back.
What tees did you guys play?
We played the whites. It's like 5,400 yards.
Oh fuck yeah! So that's like when we played at Wentworth. I'd have to give 3 fucking back to the course.
Yeah.
So it plays 6 shots easier than your handicap.
Yeah.
That's awful.
Yeah. It was some of the holes were pretty cool. I would say most of them were just dead straight
average.
You know what I mean? Like, hey, what are we doing on this? So it's a 336 par 4, just hit driver, it's dead straight. Oh, what's this? 372 par 4, dead straight. I'll hit driver, hope it, you know what I mean? There were a couple holes though that I thought were pretty cool. There was a par 5 that was a dog leg right, but the dog leg right was about 150 yards from the tee. So it was an early dog leg. So, and there was a tree right on the right. So they were kind of like daring you, like, you can try and go up and over this tree, or you can lay it back and hit whatever you want to hit off the tee.
Yeah, and have 3 stress,
and then
like
have
two stress-free irons and a wedge.
Exactly. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Go up and over.
That was a cool. I thought that was a cool hole. I think there were 2.
Was it realistic to go up and over? Like, so if I was with you, could I go up and over, or was I gonna run into more trouble by going up and over, like on the other side? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, you would have been fine.
Okay.
Well, especially for you as a lefty, like if you hit, like, because with a draw,
yeah,
like
let's just pretend it's straight, and I try to go up and over. Because what's more going to happen is when I try to go
there was
up and
shit
over,
on the right.
I probably would have fucking hooked it, but
yeah, because Vinny smoked it right into the trees. And then it just kicked out and went over wherever. So, but yeah, no, Justin hit it. I think Justin hit it over. I think I tried to go over and I hit a tree or whatever. I don't know. I fucked it. I think that might've been the hole I made an absolute mess out of. No, that was the choose your own adventure hole. So the 9th hole at Norwood Country Club is a par 4 or a par 5. They have 2 sets of tees on the boxes. So you can obviously play further back and off to the right. There's white tees, gold tees. And then further up and to the left, there's white tees, gold tees. And then still further up more is like the blue tees, the red tees, whatever. So it's literally a choose your own adventure hole. And we're like, what the fuck? So we get up and we're like, obviously we're going to play it as a par 5. So it's just an absolute disaster.
Is it drivable as a 4?
No, not quite.
All right.
So I don't have the card. I'd have to look it up.
That's
but
fine.
it's so when the tees are back and set to the right, you have to go over trees, right? So if you play it as a par 4, there's trees on the right side of the fairway that like you're mostly going to be okay. But when you play it back and as a par 5,
they're in the way.
So it's like, it's one of those type of deals. Didn't matter because I hit a snap hook off the tee that went about 165 yards and then proceeded to pull a 5 iron when I thought it was a 6 iron, dug it into the ground, and then the ball dribbled about 75 yards, hit another 6 iron that went just over the bunker and kicked into the woods and disappeared. And then I think I took 3 shots to get 3 or 4 shots to get down, however many. I made an 8. on the par five on the choose your own adventure hole.
That happens.
And
I made an 8 on a par 5 in a tournament the other day.
yeah, so
I smoked my approach off a rock that was right in front of me.
I had a couple great shots. Like, so I know you said this the other day that like I'm actually finally starting to like make good contact with the ball, but there was a par 3 that was, I think it was like 140 yards or something like that, but it was only with a back pin. Like, so it was like 140 to the pin. And I think it was like 125 to the front of the green. So I pulled a 9-iron and I'm like thinking in my head, like I'll hit 9-iron, hopefully land it in the front of the green and it'll either roll or, you know, it'll be a little bit in the front and whatever, a couple putts, get out of there. I absolutely fucking nuked the 4-iron and it hit.
What iron?
I'm sorry, the 9-iron.
Okay,
sorry.
I thought you pulled the wrong club again.
I'm used to saying nuking 4-iron with
because that's Vinny.
Because that's Vinny. So I absolutely crushed this fucking 9-iron on this par 3 and it bounced off, like it hit like the back part of the green and then kicked off and down in the cart path, whatever. But like I tried to laser it and figure it out. I think I hit the 9-iron like 150 fucking yards or something like that. And I'm like, who does that? Like, who am I? Like, I don't hit 9-iron 150 yards, but I did that time. And it wasn't a thin shot either. Like it was up and over. It had a draw to it, and the draw like hit the back left corner of the green and then kicked down.
That could be the problem. You might have hit it too good.
That's what I mean. I crushed it. And I'm like, well, fuck, now this sucks because I don't know any distances anymore.
Yes, you do. Because
I do. I have an idea. Yeah.
Well, no. So let's play the game because we're gonna play the trap that the average player falls into. So say you do that on the 3rd hole, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you get to the 7th hole. And the 7th hole is playing 130 to the front, 150. Nope, that's not the example I want. It's like 130 front, but it's like 136 pin or something.
Mm-hmm.
What club do you hit?
8-iron. No, sorry, pitch and wedge. I went the wrong way.
No, because how likely are you
to do that again? Yeah,
to do it again?
Very unlikely.
And if it's 1 in 5,
yeah,
or 2 in 10 is 2 in 10 is the same rate fraction, but it works for my argument. So say you do it 2 out of 10 times, you really pipe this thing and it goes long. It's like, all right, well, you went long to a back pin.
Right.
The one I just described is not a back pin.
Right.
So you're still putting. The chances of you catching it like that are probably 20%, which means 80% of the time you're not going to go long.
Right. Right.
So that leaves us 8 out of 10. So you can probably bet that 4 of them would come up short from contact and 4 of them would probably be pin high-ish or so.
Yeah. Yeah.
So because 4 of them are more likely to be on the pin, 2 of them are likely to potentially be long, but not dead. Now you have 6 balls on the green or so. So that's where most people, they look at it and go, oh, I got all of that one and it went long. It's like, I can't hit that again. I hit that 150 or 155. It's like,
right. That doesn't mean that I hit my 9-iron 150 now.
No, it means you caught it once good and it did that.
Right.
Like you saw me yesterday on the par 5. I thought we had a little bit of wind at us and I think it either sat down or I just read it wrong or I'm just fucking hypnotized into knowing that the wind is always in my face on the par 5. I had a 162 pin and I know I carry my 7-iron 165. Well, I probably carried it 170.
Right.
And I was up on the hill.
Right.
So the next time I'm facing a pin that's middle and it's 162, I'm still not hitting the 8-iron.
Right.
because it's not getting there. I only carry the 8-iron 150. I only carry it 148 ish.
Yeah.
150. No. Oh, I'm sorry. 8-iron. 8-iron. No, I carry that 152. But that 152 carry is not
Right.
162, 165.
Right.
So you just got to know, like, and that's like the managing the misses. And then, it's easy to get frustrated. It's like, oh, well, I hit it so good on 3 and so shitty on 7. And it's like,
yeah,
it's because the right answer was somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. And I mean, trust me, there's still plenty of shitty shots out there to be had in my game on the course, but it's interesting. And I guess it's a better problem to have, that I'm running into problems with hitting shots that are too good versus too shitty. Right. Like,
yeah,
I would much rather hit the 9-iron 145 and fuck up a par 3 or gold long or whatever it is.
Or just putt. Well, this is the thing, is a lot of the time you go,
because I hit an 8-iron off the tee on one of the holes, and there was some roll in, obviously, but it went 174. And I was like, that is fucking wild, because that's like a 6-iron ish. No, 7. Cause I can hit my 6-iron like 180, 190. So it's just weird. It was just weird. I'm in a weird part of my golf game, because I can finally, if I make like I said, on one of those holes, I hit 8-iron off the tee and it went 174 yards. And I went over the fairway into the rough long, because it was a dog leg. It was a dog right. So I was like, oh, I'll hit an 8-iron, it was a short par 4. So it was like, I think it was only like 260 yards in a straight line to the green, but it was a dog leg right. So you would have to get over a bunch of fucking trees. So I was like, all right, I'll just pop an 8-iron out there. And then I was like, I'll probably have to hit another 8-iron or a 9-iron to get into the green. And then I fucking plow the 8-iron straight through the fairway into the rough and long, 174 yards. So, like I said, I would much rather have that problem than hit a fucking toe shank 90 degrees to the right.
yeah. And I mean, you got to be careful. So the only thing you have to think about is, like, when you get up there, it's like, what's long, what's short. So it's like, yeah, sometimes you definitely cannot be long.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a thing.
Right.
But just like with the skill level you play at, there's just plenty of inconsistency where you can't necessarily like change your club, because then you might hit, like, you might have, like, so on my hypothetical, you might take pitch and wedge, hit it good, hit the front, and it fucking kicks back because there was a little bit of a slope, and now you're in a bunker or something.
Right.
And it's like, what was the fucking point of that? It's like 9-iron was the play.
Yeah.
Golf's dumb.
Golf is so dumb. But it's like I said, I'm struggling with distances now. Sometimes, because then, like, the 52-degree wedge is now like the 100-yard club, where like that used to be the approach. Now the approach like goes it's like a 115 club ish. But I hate the fucking 50. I haven't been able to hit the 52 wedge. Like, it's been the bane of my existence this whole year. So now anytime I see a number that's like between 80 and 100, I immediately go, wow, this fucking sucks. I got to hit the 52. And then I hit it like shit.
Well, with that positivity leading into the shot, I'm shocked it didn't go well.
Yeah.
Shocked.
Around the greens, though, I've been fucking money. I think I might have had positive strokes gained around the greens today. I know I definitely did putting.
Yeah, generally you seem to, it measures to your own baseline, right?
Yeah. So I gained 10 strokes putting today.
And that's to your own baseline, right?
Versus my own baseline. Yeah. So around the greens, don't worry, because my total strokes gained today was minus 0.79. So I gained 10 strokes putting, and tee to green, I lost 10.8. So around the greens, I only lost 1.12, which is really fucking good. My approach was trash, like straight garbage trash. I lost.
Are you sure that's to your own baseline? And
yeah, it says it right here. It says strokes gained versus my skill level.
Oh, hold on. So I don't think that's to your own baseline. I think that's to other
like, to the handicap.
What's your handicap? What's your handicap on that today?
21 and a half.
I think that's compared to other 21 and a halves, or at least like 20 to 25 or something, like a range. I don't think that's to you.
Okay.
Because to gain 10 strokes putting on your own baseline, dude, you would have had been pouring them in from everywhere.
I was.
Like, what lengths though are we talking here? Because I'll pull up mine because I made everything one day.
Let me see. I hit a couple. Like I drained probably like a 30-footer at one point. I hit probably a 12-footer, and then I also hit maybe like a 15, 16-footer. I had three putts that were pretty long.
Come on, you fucking bitch. Yeah, because I'm looking at, because I had a day. So I hit an 18-footer. I hit a 3 by itself. I hit a 7 by itself. I hit a 10. So I had, these are all one putts that I had. I had 18, 3, 7, 10. Missed an 8-footer. 12. So those were like the yards I hit, and I gained 5 strokes, or what would be 5 strokes on a scratch golfer. And I don't know how many total feet of putts made that is.
Yeah. So I hit a 16-footer. There was one, like I said, there was one that I hit that was like 30 feet. But a couple of them.
That'll happen then. Because if you hit a bomb, that changes things.
Yeah. But then a couple of them too, like my approach shot actually only left me with like 7 feet, and then I hit the 7-footer. You know, like,
well, that gains strokes, especially for your skill level. Like that gains strokes against a scratch.
Right.
Actually, even everything, I think 3-footers. No, I think even 2-footers are technically strokes gained on a scratch. Maybe it's 3-footers. I think 3-footers is where you start to gain.
So my around the green, like anything short was money. Like I was able to pretty much give myself like 15 feet or less. You know, like if I was, just off the green. Most holes, obviously not every hole, because I shot a fucking 88, and I made an 8 on the choose your own adventure hole.
I'm like trying to think in my head if I like that or if it would piss me off so much. What I would probably do though? I'd probably play it as a 4 and just make par and get the fuck out of there, because it sounds like the 5, because you're trading off the idea that you might get there in 2, but you are trading it for a goofy setup.
Yeah, because it really
like
only
about the trees in the way.
If I had to guess, it definitely doesn't add more than 35 yards to the hole.
Can I blow it into like a different fairway or something? Like,
yeah, you could.
Maybe that's the play. But
you'd have to go left because it's all woods on the right.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll just aim. I'll aim down. I'll stand closer to the woods. I'll aim left, try to draw it back, and just double cross myself into the other fairway.
Yeah. And then, so one of the best things about today was there was one hole. We were finishing up a par 3, and we're walking off the green from one of the par 3s, driving to the tee box, the next tee box, and Norwood Country Club, which butts up next to Norwood Airport. So one of the holes, the hole that we were driving to, that was all along the left side, butt up against Norwood Airport. There's trees there, right? But whatever. You like, there's not a lot of trees, and you can go into the trees and you see the fence with the barbed wire on the top to like stay the fuck out of the airport. So we're walking off the green, and a fucking plane literally is like super fucking low. And we're like, holy shit, dude. Like, that's fucking nuts. Like, those planes are so low. And then I go, this would be a really stupid thing to do, but it's definitely been done because there's a lot of stupid people and people get hammered. But I'm like, I wonder how many people have set up on the next tee box to try and hit one of the fucking planes that's trying to land in the airport. And we all laugh and we're like, oh yeah, what an asshole, what an idiot, whatever. So, we go to the next tee box. I tee off. I hit it down the left side, goes into the rough. Vinny gets up, he hits his somewhere, I don't know. Then I think Justin goes, he hits it like dead straight down the center. And then Bill comes up and he's lining up the shot, and you can hear the planes, right? Like, they're little Cessnas, but like they're still fucking loud. Like, they're landing like there, like you can watch them land. So Bill sets up, we hear this fucking plane coming, and he's getting ready. And I'm whatever. Like, he's doing his like pre-shot thing and like getting ready to hit. I'm not going to be like, hey man, stop. So I just let him go. And I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. So Bill lines up and absolutely fucking pummels a ball. And it starts to go pretty fucking high, and the plane flies right fucking over at that moment. And he probably came, it's angles, so I'm sure it looked a lot closer, but from where we were standing, it looked like Bill came about 20 to 25 yards away from crushing this fucking plane with his golf ball. And we just start dying laughing because we're like, we literally just talked about this. Like, and I go, remember like 5 minutes ago when I said like, oh, what asshole would like hit a fucking plane off the tee box? Yeah, Bill, that's you.
Could have been anyone.
Yeah. But thankfully, like I said, he didn't hit the fucking plane, but came. And again, like I said, it's angles, right? Like all of the shit. I'm sure it wasn't fucking close at all. But from our angle, our view, it was about 25 yards away from hitting the fucking plane.
Should have aimed at it.
Yeah. So that was great. That was pretty good. Let's see what else we got. Oh, actually, you know what's not pretty good? This brings me to like the conspiracy part of this that I've got. So this is a legit conspiracy, right? So I like to talk about conspiracies because they're more so for the entertainment value.
I'm going to interrupt for just a second.
Yeah.
Tankleton,
yeah.
known member of the gym,
yes.
14 years old, whatever. He claimed that we were starting a confederacy against him the other day. He goes, you guys are having a confederacy against me. And then to which we all started asking him if Robert E. Lee and Stonewall Jackson were walking through that door. So I guess sometimes conspiracies are considered confederacies now.
Oh, we're banding together to write a piece of legislation or whatever. I think a confederacy is literally just like a group of, it's like an alliance of whether it's states or countries or whatever. Like, I think you could probably call NATO a confederacy.
Well, either way, we went with the most famous one. So
well, yeah.
I think we're going to start printing our own money pretty soon.
Yeah.
Anyway, the conspiracy.
So the confederacy that we have going on here is a strange trend of food processing plant fires across the country. Have you heard anything about this?
No, not one.
I know sometimes you have some some of your clients are, crazy people.
They're all fucking yeah,
but
they got nothing anymore.
So the big thing is you're hearing on the news, right, from all of the politicians, mostly on the left, is they keep warning of a food shortage, right? They're like, oh, there's going to be a food shortage. Oh, there's a food shortage coming. There's a very real possibility. And they blame it on the Russo-Ukrainian war, right? They're like, oh, yeah, they blame all their problems on Putin. Oh, gas is $5 a gallon. Well, yeah, it's Putin's fault. It has nothing to do with the fact that, I don't know if you saw, Biden canceled the leases for oil refineries in Alaska and the Gulf of Mexico. He was like, yeah, no, you guys can't drill for oil here anymore.
Cool.
It's like, all right, sick, dude. So, but you're good, but it's Putin's fault that gas is $5 a gallon. So either way, fuck that guy. But they keep talking about like food shortages, like food shortages, whatever. Well, I want to give a shout out to Tim Pool from the Timcast podcast. He's been on Rogan a few times, and he's one of the few like legit journalists that I think remains like in this country. So he posted this thing. The headline is "Strange Trend of Food Processing Plant Fires Appear Across the United States." And then like the subheading is at least 16 fires have broken out at food processing plants, impacting the nation's supply of beef and poultry. So I also think that these 16 fires are over the last like 18 months. Like I think it's 16 fires in like a year and a half. So just really quickly, there was a fire that closed Tyson Foods meat processing plant in Kansas. In 2019. So that was the first one. So that was 3 years ago. But then starting in August of 2021. So the first one was in 2019. And then in August of 2021, there's been 15 since then. So Patak meat processing facility burned in Atlanta, August 2021. There was another fire at JBS USA in Nebraska in September of 2021. That plant processes about 5% of the nation's beef, which directly impacts the supply chain. In February of 2022, Shearer's food processing plant in Oregon burned down. On April 13th, Taylor Farms food processing plant in California burned and prompted evacuations. On April 19th, the Azure Standard food processing plant in Oregon also burned down. And then he goes on to say that people are beginning to notice because the fires are threatening an already stressed supply chain of food in the United States. So the trend continues. On March 16th, Walmart Fulfillment Center in Plainfield, Indiana, burnt down. The event was severe enough to warrant the ATF to investigate. So I don't know why, but, and again, on April 11th, New Hampshire's East Conway Beef and Pork. A fire so large broke out that it took 16 hours to extinguish. Most of the incidents have either been ruled as no foul play or currently still under investigation. So there's all of this crazy shit, right, that's going on. All of these food processing plants, 16 food processing plants, 15 of them since August of 2021.
Well, how many normally burn down in a year?
So what they said was warehouse fires are relatively common. However, the percent of food processing plants is high. It's a more concentrated number now than it is normally. So,
and what do the insurance policies look like on these places?
Well, one of them. So I also listened to a podcast the other day called The American Party. It's Dan Holloway from Drinking Bros. He has a different podcast, and him and this other guy were on, and they talked about it. And one of them, they broke down every individual fire. So they spent literally the entire podcast. It was like an hour and a half long, where they broke down all like 16 fires. There was one of them that was a brand new facility that was under construction, and construction finished. And then like 3 weeks later, it burnt to the ground. So they both, the Dan and his co-host on the show, were both like, yeah, that one's probably an insurance job. But because they covered that part of it, right? Where it was like, how many normally burn down in a year versus like what's going on. And they're the ones that found that it's a higher concentration, right? So 15 food processing plants since August of 2021, which was what, 9 months ago ish.
Sure. We're not doing math. No grammar, no vocabulary, no math.
So, and now you hear politicians warning of a food shortage, an incoming national food shortage. So
fucking Putin. I can't believe you burned all those buildings down.
I don't know. I mean, so just to try and put on my tinfoil hat for a second, I don't know, like what's the purpose, right? Because it's always like, it's always like cui bono, right? Like who benefits from this? So I guess if there were a conspiracy to burn down all these food processing plants to create a national food shortage, I guess that would potentially set the government up to take more control and more power, right? Because they could be like, I think this happened in the 70s or the 80s, where the government like gave out it was government cheese and all that shit, right? Remember, like whenever that was, maybe that was earlier than the 70s, but the government
actually, if it's 70s or earlier, no, I don't actually remember.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't there.
But the government at one point was like giving out groceries. I think that was a thing with the Soviet Union too. I think back in the day, like people wouldn't go grocery shopping. You would like show up to the grocery store and like a government employee would like just hand you a bag of groceries, and like that's what you would get. So like I don't know if like, is that the end game, right, for the government? I'm just saying, if we play the game and we think this conspiracy is legit and it's real, like who benefits, right? What's the end game? Where are we getting to?
I would need to know more, like who controls the food distribution? Like who are the big players?
Yeah. Is it Pete Buttigieg?
Yeah, I forget. Well, no, because he has
who's the Secretary of Agriculture? Who's the czar? The czar of agriculture.
The farm king?
Yeah, the farm king.
No, because I mean, so like, what's a big? I don't even know what the biggest food distributors are. It's not important, but like, who those big ones are just gonna pick up the slack, I would imagine, right? Or does that give them the ability to buy more farms and shit?
Theoretically, they wouldn't be able to keep up with production, right? So if you have however many food processing plants exist, right, that produce 100% of the food, and now you lose 15 of them, one of them made up 5% instead of beef and pork. So let's say like all told, it makes up less than 10%, but let's call it 8 or 9% of like the entire supply chain for food production. Like that's almost 10%. Like, are you really going to be able to make that up with the remaining plants? Maybe, right? Like maybe, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that, but I'm just an asshole posing a question that I don't know the answer to.
I'd be interested to see. So like when these warehouses burn, whatever, who buys the land? Like that would be kind of indicative of, yeah. Well, Jeff Bezos.
Right. Well, no, that's the other thing, right? If you want to play the conspiracy game, all of these food plants are burning down. So the beef, the poultry, the chicken, all of these processing plants, the Walmart fulfillment center for some reason burns down. Well, now all of a sudden there's a shortage of meat, right? You can't get chicken, you can't get beef, you can't get pork, you can't get whatever. Well, now what do you have to turn to? Some sort of vegetables, right? Well, who happens to own more farmland in the entire country than any other single person or entity? Bill Gates.
Such a good guy.
So, cui bono, who benefits from burning down all these food processing plants? I don't know. I would say Bill Gates probably benefits a little bit.
Yeah, Bill Gates is good though.
Yeah, he's a good guy. I saw a video of him today on Twitter. Someone posted it. He was on CNN. He was on Anderson Cooper with a straight face. Now, why he was on CNN with Anderson Cooper talking about health policy again and talking about vaccines again, it blows my fucking mind. But Bill Gates was on CNN with a straight face, said, well, yeah, any Americans over 50 or 60 years old are probably just going to have to continue getting a vaccine every 6 months.
Are they still going to be free? Like when does that
what?
stop? When does that stop happening?
Well, I mean, they're not free. They're free for us, but the government pays for it.
Yeah, but how long are they going to do that for?
I don't know.
When this shit starts costing money,
I mean, we just gave $40 billion to Ukraine.
I could have solved world hunger with that.
Yeah, I know. If Elon Musk could have solved world hunger with 6 billion, what do you think the government could have done with 40?
Oh, it's not that easy.
Oh, yeah, no, it doesn't work like that. Okay. All right. I'll sit here and wait. I'll hang up and listen.
Listen.
You tell me how it works then.
Yeah, how Elon Musk could have done it.
Yeah.
But Elon Musk bad.
Yep.
But then the government does it, and it's not how that works because government good.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we also have a baby formula shortage.
The thing I sent you.
Yeah. Yeah. Some states are currently sitting at 40% of their normal inventory across the country of baby formula. But we just handed $40 million to Ukraine. Luckily.
And what about our guy?
Which one? Bill Gates? Yeah. What'd he say?
He's got a like artificial breast milk or whatever going.
Oh yeah. Oh, perfect. That's great. Yep. There we go.
Yeah. So in the face of a formula crisis, he's got artificial breast milk.
Yeah.
Such good timing.
Yeah. Great timing, right?
He must be that, that's just how smart he is.
Yeah, he's such a good guy. So what was I going to say? I forget. Talking about the baby food shortage. Baby formula. Oh, luckily, I forget who this is. I wish I could remember to actually give this person credit. But there was one person in Congress that stood up in one of the sessions and said, we need to enact the Defense Production Act in order to force companies across the country to start producing infant formula, like baby formula. To which, like, yes, thank you, right? Like, there's one politician. Now, I don't know I don't know who the person is, and I don't know their track record, but at least in this one instance, out of 400 and something people that are in the legislative branch, one person stood up and said, instead of being like, oh man, can you believe there's a infant baby formula shortage? We're at 50% of our normal capacity. Oh, wow, that's too bad. That really sucks. Yeah. Oh, wow, that's terrible. What are we going to do? Oh, these poor parents, man. Oh man, I wish there was something we could do. I wish everyone says that, right? They're like, oh man, that's terrible. Oh man. And then they continue on. No, one person in Congress stood up and said, no, fuck that. We need to push through the Defense Production Act to create more baby formula. Yes. If there was ever a time to enact the Defense Production Act, I would say it would be now, right? Because there's a lot of people that for whatever reason, there's a lot of like new moms that can't produce milk, like their mammary glands don't lactate, or they have problems, or you have babies that have certain allergies to certain things and they need formula. It's whatever, they need special formula, whatever the fuck it is. Like, no, get that shit to the babies. Like, let's fucking go. Like, what are you doing? Stop sending money to a country that's literally on the other side of the fucking world, fighting a war with another country that we have nothing to do with. And how about we get some fucking baby formula? There's a novel idea.
Well, in 3 to 5 years, Bill Gates will have his his artificial breast milk company going.
Yeah, sick. What a good guy. He's just going to save the world. We should just give him the world, right? We should just sign him up. So let's make him chancellor of the world.
Yes, world king.
Yeah, he's the world king. Because he's just so awesome.
Yeah,
he's not like Elon Musk.
No, he's
not
bad.
like that piece of shit. It's not like he's trying to actually help the world. What's he doing? He's just making fancy cars, right? Fuck that guy.
Buying Twitter.
Yeah.
Waste of time.
Yeah. So, on that note, I think we're ready to wrap this up.
All right. Let me pull up my gotta pull up my document. So, stemming from someone asking me about, nope, I'm pivoting right away. I'm pivoting. Pine Valley. I forgot about this. So, Pine Valley is a golf course in New Jersey. We may get a cease and desist just for bringing their name up. In which case I'll never talk about them again. They are currently being sued by the New Jersey Attorney General for years of discrimination against women. Now, if you know anything about golf and golf courses, no, this place is perennially ranked first or second in the country. It's right up there with Augusta National.
Does the PGA play there?
No, God, no. They will not. They allow one amateur tournament a year. It's the Crump Cup, I believe. They will not allow any professional events there. So if you know anything about any of these golf courses, for a lot of years, they were white only or white males only.
Right, correct.
It's like, all right, well, then they, get with the times a little bit, black males. Okay. And some courses would not allow women. And Augusta National famously admitted their first female members in 2012. So, one reason why clubs are able to do this is they are private membership clubs. And as a private membership club, you can do these things. Like, you can be males only. You can be Italian Americans only. You can be like whatever. It doesn't matter. Now, it doesn't really do a lot for you in the public eye. And eventually it all catches up, because then you become racist, bigots, whatever. But the amount of money that's thrown around at these places, none of that shit matters. Like, you can tell them like they're bigots and they just really don't fucking care. Like, they just don't. And that's why it's been like this till now. But what makes Pine Valley interesting is I guess New Jersey operates like in boroughs, like throughout whatever. So Pine Valley owned a borough effectively. So the club effectively owned the borough of Pine Valley. And in order to buy a home in that borough, it was tied to membership with the club.
Okay.
So
is that kind of like counties, like boroughs, counties, basically?
I would maybe it's a smaller county.
Yeah. I
don't know. Like, maybe it's not quite a town, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Because I know New York City has boroughs.
Yeah, but their boroughs are huge.
But like then there's counties. I think like the state itself has counties.
Yeah, so a borough might break up a town. I don't really know. Like,
yeah, I truthfully,
someone from New Jersey would have to explain that part to me, because like they definitely have counties too. Like Bergen County is a county I've heard of.
Yeah.
So in that borough, woman wants to buy a house, can't buy a house. She's not a member. She's not allowed to be a member.
Oh.
So
I see where this is going.
So now the Attorney General of New Jersey is using that angle. They're using the angle of, because even she's basically like, I don't want to say accusing, but arguing that their private club status was incorrect the whole time, because effectively they were running this borough and they were receiving state funds and whatnot to run the borough. And because of that, they were discriminating against women's ability to buy homes and whatever.
Yeah.
Because the rest of it's the same. Like the rest of it's the same as any other place. Like, oh, unequal employment, unequal membership, lack of representation, whatever. And the reason they can do it is you have that private club status. Well, now this Attorney General AG is saying no, their private club status is wrong because they were in charge of this town or section of a town. Or
they're arguing they're not a club, they're a government agency essentially.
Now I think they've since relinquished the borough, or they've merged with another borough. And that's why now it's coming up. I don't know why it didn't come up before. So it'll be interesting to see how that kind of shakes out. It's a very, very unique situation because all of these clubs, even though effectively Augusta National probably runs everything in Augusta, they don't literally run everything in Augusta.
Right.
Like if you want to buy a home, you don't have to fucking call up.
Fred Ridley isn't the mayor of Augusta.
Yeah, you don't have to call up a green jacket.
Yeah.
But whereas before you used to have to. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I mean, you figure it's going to be money. And they've got plenty of it. So wouldn't want that assessment bill. But I guess if I was a member of Pine Valley, an assessment bill really wouldn't fucking matter to me.
Probably not. So this is funny. The first thing I just typed in, what's the difference between a borough and a county? The first thing that popped up from wikidiff.com. The difference between borough and county. A borough is a fortified town, while a county is land ruled by a count or a countess. Sick. So who's the count that runs Bristol County? Who's the cunt that runs Bristol County? I would like to meet that person. What the fuck? Why can't anything just give me an easy answer?
No, you can't have it. No.
Oh, okay. So borough is a subdivision of a consolidated city, whereas a county is a bunch of cities and towns put together. Right?
Yeah, no, the county part makes sense to me. That's easy.
So in order to be a borough, so technically Mattapan is a borough of Boston, right?
Yes.
Jamaica Plain, Hyde Park, those are boroughs of Boston.
Yes.
But Suffolk County is whatever it is. I don't know. Boston, Cambridge, fucking Brookline. I don't know.
I think Brookline's a borough, but whatever.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So like that's that. So then West Medford would be a borough of Medford. Or like the hillside, right? Like, so the hillside and Wellington. So that's a great example too. Wellington is a borough of Medford, but Medford itself sits in Middlesex County. All right, I think I get it now. So boroughs divide up a city, and then counties are like a collective thing. Got it. I really was kind of looking forward to finding out who the count was of fucking Bristol County, though. That would have been pretty fun. Ruled by a count or a countess.
I'm thinking that's an archaic idea.
Yeah. Thanks, WikiDiff. That's the first answer, though, that comes up. Like the number one answer on Google or DuckDuckGo, I guess. Because I did it on my phone. So, all right. Well, my final thought is it's a good, me personally is something I'm excited for. It just came out recently that Norm Macdonald taped essentially what was a dry run of what would have been a new special. So Netflix got their hands on it and they are releasing it on May 30th. So it's titled Norm Macdonald, Nothing Special. Obviously Norm Macdonald died a couple months ago and it was fucking terrible because he was one of my favorite comedians, just in general, comedic actors, stand-up comedian. When it came to comedy, like Norm Macdonald was great. My thing, though, is I think people are getting a little too carried away. So don't get me wrong, right? I'm excited. I will be watching it. I guess David Spade had come out and said, because was friends with Norm, and said he watched it and he cried during it. So, I mean, I'm sure Norm Macdonald isn't up there like saying things that are actually going to make people cry. Like I'm sure David Spade said he cried because it was his best friend who's dead now. But I'm sure it's good, right? Like I'm sure it's good. But you need to keep in mind like the details around it. It was a dry run of his special. So some of the jokes might not be completely fine-tuned, right? Like the comedians tour the country. They spend hours and hours and days on writing their jokes and tweaking them and doing little things here and there. Again, I'm not saying that it's going to suck. It's going to be good. It's going to be great because Norm is great. But I don't know if nervous is the right word, but I'll say I'm nervous that when it comes out, people are going to shit on it and say, oh, it's not even that good. Like some of those jokes weren't even that good. Well, yeah, no shit, because this wasn't his special. Like he didn't go tape the special. He taped something leading into the special. So for all we know, he might not have taped the special for another 6 months. Like he might have spent another 6 months, tinkering away on jokes and doing stuff. You know what I mean? Like we don't know where he was at in the process. It just so happened that this was taped and they're releasing it. So I'm like, I think mostly maybe this is me being protective over a dead guy because I like him, but I am going to be very mad at people if they come out and say it's not good. Because you have to know going in what it is, right? Like this wasn't his special. Yes, Netflix is releasing it as the Norm Macdonald special, but like if he were still alive, that's not what would be going on Netflix. Right. So again, like I said, I'm excited. I will be watching it on the 30th when it comes out. So, but at the same time, like I said, I'm nervous, worried, whatever the fuck word you want to use. Not really. I'm not going to lose sleep over it, but I'm concerned, I guess is the proper word, that people are going to be cunts and like talk shit about it.
Yeah. I mean, there's no changing that about people.
Right. Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair point.
Like you can explain all you want. So like, it's not funny. It's like, all right.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're super fun at parties.
Yeah, I'm sure you're a way better joke writer. Why don't you go do stand-up?
Yeah. That's the thing is because no stand-up comedian will. Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm sure it's going to be great, but I don't know if it's going to blow the doors off. I'm not expecting it to blow the doors off, I think would be a good way to say it. But so I think that's it. That's all we got. So thank you for watching on YouTube. Again, hammer the thumbs up, the like, subscribe, tell everybody you know about the show. What else we got? Thanks to mybookie.com. Go to mybookie.com, use the promo code Sarcasm Pod when you sign up to double your first deposit. You can't bet against the Bruins anymore because they lost, but you can still bet against the Celtics. So they're probably going to lose to the Heat because it's what happens. So
you can also throw a couple bucks on Matsuyama 31-1.
Yeah,
to win the PGA this week.
Did he end up winning the Byron Nelson?
Nope, Cagely won.
Yeah. Oh, geez. Wow. Out of nowhere.
Back to back.
Yeah. So what else we got? grillyourassoff.com. Go to grillyourassoff.com. Use the same promo code SarcasmPod to get 15% off your entire order every single time you check out. The PGA is this week. I'm sure we'll cover that. It's probably on Tuesday, so Thursday for you guys. You can get us on Instagram at Sarcasm Speaks Pod. We're on Twitter at Sarcasm_speaks. The Facebook page is Sarcasm Speaks. The website, sarcasmspeaks.com, all that shit. Tell everybody you know about the show. And until next time, good night, everybody.